Welcome students. Today we'll cover while loops. There are two types of loops, for loop and while loop. The difference between the two is that in for loops, the user is aware of the number of iterations. So the user would know that how many iterations are required and the number of iterations are predefined in for loop. In while loop, it is not the case. The number of iterations are not known to the user. Instead, a condition is known to the user that the loop should run until the condition becomes false, meaning till the time the condition is true, the loop will keep on running and it will only terminate when the condition becomes false. In the first example here on the screen, you can see that we are calculating factorial of a number using while loop. Again, the user is prompted to input an integer number from the keyboard. And there are two variables I and fact which are initialized to 1. And then you can see a while loop while I less than number, fact is equal to fact into I is equal to I plus 1. Now here you can see indentation. So in Python, make sure you provide indentation whenever you use while loop or if else statements. Now if I run this, show you what it does. Now it is asking me to enter a number. I will enter 5. Now here in the output you can see the iteration number, value of fact, and the result factorial of number 5 is 120. So the loop is executed 5 times, right? In iteration 1, the value of fact is 1, right? You see here I is less than number. So my number was 5 and I is 1. So I is less than equal to 5, condition is true. If it is true, then it will execute all the statements that are inside the loop. Fact is initialized 1, then 1 into I, which is 1 into 1 is 1. Then I is incremented by 1 value. I becomes 2 now. 2 is less than 5, less than equal to 5. Yes, then it is executed. Now, fact is 1, I is 2. So 1 into 2 is 2. Value of fact is 2. Then I is incremented to 3. 3 is less than equal to 5. True. What was the value of fact earlier? 2. 2 into 3 is 6. I becomes 4. Right? 6 into 4, 24 value of. And then I becomes 5. I is less than equal to number. 5 is less than equal to 5. Is true. Because 5 is equal to 5. Then 24 into 5 is 120. Now, again, after 5, I is incremented to by 1. I becomes 6. 6 is less than equal to 5. Wrong. This is false. Therefore, the iteration number 6 is not executed. And it exits the loop. When it exits, it prints out the result, which is the factorial of number is fact, which is the factorial of number 5 is 120. Okay. So this is how while loops work. There is another way also to calculate factorial of a number using while loop. But in this case, in the second example, we are doing it the other way around. Instead of, so you can see here, the conditions are different. While I is greater than 0, and in the above one was I is less than equal to number. So I'll run this code for you and then we'll see what it does. Asking me to enter a number. Again, I'll enter 5. Okay. Now this is the output here, what it does. Number 5. The user is prompted to enter a number for which we need a factorial. So I entered 5. If there are two variables, I and fact, they are initialized to 4 and 5. If number is equal to 0, then print this, else print execute whatever is inside else statement. Now my number is 5. That means it will execute else state. Okay. Now what is the value of I here? I is number minus 1, which is 4. Iteration number 4. Right? And the value of fact is 20. How 20? Because fact is number into I. Number is 5 and I is 4. Fourth is my iteration. So 20. Then I is decremented by 1. I becomes 3. I is still greater than 0, which is true. Therefore, it will execute whatever is inside this. So 20 into 3 is fact into I becomes 60. Then I is further decremented by 1. I becomes 2. 2 is greater than 0. Yes, it will execute. So 60 into 2, 120. I is further decremented by 1. I becomes 1. And 120 into 1, fact into I becomes 120. I is further decremented, I becomes 0. Is 0 greater than 0? False. It exits the loop. Exits the loop and it prints the factorial of a number is fact, which is the factorial of number 5 is 120. So this is how it works. But if I enter number 0, then it will not execute the while loop because it will execute this statement. If number is equal to 0, print the factorial of number 0 is 1. In that case, the while is not executed at all. Let me show you. See, there are no iterations. Here, directly it prints the factorial of number 0 is 1. So this is how the while loops operate. In the next class, we'll do break and continue statements which are associated with while loop. Okay. So thank you for joining. See you in next class.